So welcome back to From the Cinema. Your host, Jalal and co-host.
And I'm your co-host, Mitchell Parker.
Yeah, well, welcome back to our second season together, Mitchell. This is awesome.
I'm glad to be back.
Oh my God, as funny as ever, right?
Yeah.
I know. Disaster Artist, very talked about film here. It's been in the making for quite a while. James Franco, the director, starred in it. He acted in everything, and he had there's a whole journey for him to get this whole thing going here. I personally really loved it. I thought it was funny.
I thought it was a great movie. Hilarious. I laughed a lot.
I laughed a lot, and the thing about it too that I felt was so cool. So we laughed at it so much, but if you think about it, it was not shot like a comedy. I mean, it was two young people that want to make it big in Hollywood, and they make a film, and The Room. It's like the worst, best.
I don't know if you guys have seen The Room.
The Room.
It's a bad movie, but amazingly bad.
Exactly.
Perfectly bad.
It's like the best, worst movie of all time.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Outside of,
outside
yours.
As the example.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, God. Well, you're in it too.
I know.
You're in it too. Yeah. God, okay. That's like my version of that. I thought everybody that was in it did a great job of really giving people like an idea of what it was about, and like what it meant to really be on Tommy's set, which was like insane if you think about it.
I think it was, I
mean, like how hostile was he was spying on his crew and stuff and all that kind of stuff.
And James Franco, I think, did an excellent job of capturing that sort of the chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, and the whole chaotic vibe of it, and the thing that I encourage viewers and people that either haven't seen it or want to watch it or anything like that is to definitely take a look at the Q&As, because if you listen to how James Franco went about this, he read the book, had to call Tommy himself, and Tommy initially wanted Johnny Depp to play the part. so who played me, James? I want Johnny Depp, and he did his job. I thought the pacing was fine.
I think my main concern with the movie was Dave Franco. I didn't love his performance.
You like Dave?
His beard, it looked like he had pubes on his face. It was very odd.
Oh yeah, I mean,
is that okay to say on television crews? I can say that because as a pubed-faced man myself.
Yeah. When you think about what it's going to be, it could have been horrible. It could have been a parody, but it really wasn't a parody. And that's what I think I enjoyed about it. They had to kind of celebrate.
It was earnest.
It was earnest. Yeah. It was very good. It was very it's something very enjoyable, and the critics liked it too. Audience liked it everywhere. I mean, and that kind of leaves us to how we feel about it. What would you give this film, Mitchell?
I'd give it an 8.
An 8?
An 8. 7.5 or 8, yeah.
7.5 or 8. I give it an 8.5.
The thing is, I loved everything about James Franco, but again, even just our conversation reveals it. I feel like the rest of the movie was sort of unremarkable.
Yeah,
but James Franco was remarkable.
Yeah, and that's kind of as I'm talking about it now too, I'm starting to realize like I enjoy the film a lot, and I enjoy the accent. I talk like this all the time, you guys. I did all the time. I love movies. Yeah. But at the same time, I definitely agree with you. Yeah, it wasn't like nothing else really stood. Seth Rogen his character.
He's Seth Rogen.
He's Seth Rogen. Last thing I'll say is I just think it just really did a good job of capturing like the whole vibe of not just like Tommy Wiseau himself, but just like the whole like working on a hostile set. You know what I mean? I think like, and not just hostile, but just like people are uncomfortable and people are like, struggling. I think whether it's that set itself or just being on a set where like people aren't like enjoying it, like that's like that's a real experience in Hollywood too, and that's something that like I'll experience it at some point too.
Hopefully, or not hopefully. I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I want to experience it all.
Yeah.
A quote from the film was, "The worst thing on a set is better than any day anywhere else." And I thought that was
that is like a really beautiful
quote, and she said it in the film. She really did. We have a second segment coming up here. Logan KcKennah Brown will be on here talking about her film, The Gay Club. Senior thesis films coming out all semester, you guys. So this is a big semester for everyone here too.
Yeah, there's tons of senior films this semester.
Tons of senior films here. You got 30 senior films. We're gonna try to have as many of them on as we can, and look out for our roundtables coming up too.
It's a new thing. We're doing a new thing.
We're doing a new thing. We're gonna interview multiple people at once, get some staff, different, not just directors, producers. We're trying to have a big season for y'all here. So stay tuned and keep checking us out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So welcome back, you guys, from the cinema. Your host, Jalal here, co-host.
Mitchell Parker.
All right, here we have a second segment for today here. Our guest filmmaker here, Logan KcKennah Brown.
Hi.
All right, here, and student filmmaker here, award-winning filmmaker here, coming up with your senior thesis film here, right? The Gay Club.
Yep. Big
time film here. So tell us, where does that story come from, Logan?
So the Gay Club is actually based on a true story. We started the process of making it almost a year ago in March, actually. In March it'll be a year. I went down to my hometown to make a documentary because I wanted to interview current high school students, people that graduated with me from my high school, as well as like adults that have been in the town for a long time, and ask them why they either have chosen to stay in my hometown or leave and like go off and all that stuff, because it was like shortly after the election and just a lot of feelings were in the air, and I just wanted to know like what made certain people different, because as I saw it, we all grew up with like similar upbringings and we were being told the same things, and like nothing really set those of us who like went off to college and those of us who have like stayed in the town apart from like how I saw it, like fundamentally. So I was just trying to discover, why did you stay versus why did you leave? And I ended up interviewing a group of kids that are currently at the high school that started the first gay straight alliance. So like being gay isn't exactly the most accepted thing, right? And so these kids started the Gay Straight Alliance, and they were telling me what it took to get it started, on top of like the incredibly like horrible accounts of bullying that like have taken place with them. And like me and the people that I took from Mason to Georgia, we left and I was like, well, this is what the movie's about. Like, screw the other concept. Like, this is the story that we have to follow. It's not a documentary, but it's telling the true story of like what happened.
Based on true events.
Based on true events,
yeah.
Absolutely. And it's an incredible dynamic, because you tell us that, and I think about my area where we grew up. There was Gay Straight Alliance at every school we were at.
Yeah.
You know, and there was this very liberal,
place,
different world we come from in a way too.
Yeah.
So
that's another reason why I like wanted to make the movie, is because like during my time at Mason, I've realized that a lot of people that go here, if they're not like from southern areas, they don't think that stuff like this still happens.
Right. It's like just
oblivious
in
to it.
movies in our heads,
Yeah,
right?
no, it's real. And even like within my my 498 class, which is the senior thesis class, where you initially write your script, I was getting like critiques from the teachers and like from some of the students in the class where it's like,
that's unrealistic.
That's unrealistic. I'm like, no, like this actually happened.
Right. No, and that's a hard thing to like, you know, get across, but it's brave, to be honest. It really is. It's challenging.
That's good. The world needs more brave films.
We need to do that. Yeah, absolutely. It's like sending a message and everything. I can see it right now. So I mean, obviously the production I heard happened a couple weekends ago. A couple of our friends were on it. It's been a fun shoot. Well, what was that like? How was it like putting this together, you know, and having your vision come true?
Well, it was very difficult. I got a lot of different people from all over the place. I had people on my set from American University, from Mason. I had people from, I teach at a film camp every summer in Annapolis that the counselors are like industry professionals, and I pulled resources from there, and like people that were adults that have like real jobs were pulling out favors and coming to my set and helping me, which I'm like so grateful for. And it was a process. We've been doing pre-production since September of 2017 for the narrative. So while I was in 498, which is whenever you're supposed to just be writing your script, this was one of the biggest challenges, was that we were trying to do pre-production while not having a locked down script, because we knew that we wanted to shoot in January. And so like overcoming those types of obstacles was really hard. And we also, fun fact, didn't have a location of a high school until 7 days before we were shooting.
Wow.
And 90% of the movie takes place at a high school. So I was extremely...
Sounds like a student film.
Yeah. I was very stressed. But we actually ended up, because so many of the people on my crew taught at this film camp, I pitched to a high school film class in Arlington that if they would let us film there, I would make it a learning experience for high school students. And so I had literally like 25 high school students on my set.
Wow.
Wow.
That must have been a lot to handle.
Must have been fun.
There was like literally like anywhere between 30 to 50 people on set at times.
That's a big set.
That's a huge set.
That's big time.
For student film.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's phenomenal. You were able to work with that, make that happen.
I was managing all those people.
It was hard.
I bet.
It was really hard. I had an amazing AD. His name's Arsham, and really him and Mackenzie, who's one of my producers, were wrangling everyone because like they were very adamant about me being like focused and not having to deal with everyone. So they wrangled up the extras a lot, as well as the film teacher, like from the high school. They helped a lot too, as well as like my script supervisor and my editor. Her name is Maya. She goes to the high school. She's 16, so this 16-year-old girl is editing my senior film.
Wow.
She like got all of our extras and got everyone, and like she was kind of the main point of contact for them as well, and she like really stepped up, and it was really cool.
Wow, that sounds phenomenal. I mean, this whole thing, like this the message, the whole production behind, I can't wait to see it. This spring it's coming out, so in the film festival, are you planning on putting it anywhere else, and do you have any post-grad like plans for that?
Yeah, I do. We're still figuring out like our festival strategy right now. But I want to go big or go home, so we're hopefully gonna apply to Sundance. I don't know. I want to.
Do it. Yeah, your film's on the ground.
It does, yeah.
As well as we're really planning on hitting the LGBT film
circuit.
Yeah, so like Outfest, Frameline, the Tampa Gay and Lesbian.
Yeah.
Like literally, basically, we're gonna send it out as much as possible.
And our department director will tell you exactly where to put all that stuff too.
Oh yeah, Giovanna and I have been talking like a lot about what to do.
Well, exactly, and how to do this stuff. So yeah, I mean, this all sounds exciting, Logan. I'm so happy for you, so proud of you. And exactly, it's really fun.
Yeah.
This looks awesome, honestly.
Do you have any good stories from set?
From set?
Yeah.
Oh my god, so much happened on set. Like literally, basically anything that could have gone wrong did.
Okay.
It's film, that sounds about right.
Student sets, like specifically.
They're always falling apart.
Well, first of all, we get to the high school and we're unloading everything, and we realize that we weren't given the follow focus, the wireless follow focus. And like our first shot is like a dolly shot, and we were like, well, so we had to send someone back to Mason to pick it up, and so that was like very
frustrating.
That's like the first thing that we deal with, but like it wasn't that horrible. Like that was like the most probably tame bad thing to go wrong. I think the most like the one that like hit me in the gut was so something happened on Sunday morning, because we shot Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Something happened on Sunday morning that involved the police. I'm not gonna go into what it was.
You don't want to incriminate yourself.
I'm not gonna go into what it was, but it caused a lot of stress, and
the police usually do.
And we were coming down from that, and I was like trying to calm myself, and like nothing. It ended up being okay. Everything ended up being okay with that, but I was still very stressed at the moment, because in that moment I didn't know that things were going to be okay. And we were getting our first shot up, and we rented a jib from DC Camera.
Right.
And I was so excited for this jib shot, and it was like, it's the opening shot of the film. And I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna watch my monitor and enjoy this, because it's like the first shot of the day and it's the opening shot of the movie, and I'm like seeing my vision like come to life. So the camera, which by the way we shot with the Sony FS7 because we got the grant from Sony. Shout out to Sony, thank you. And so it's a nice camera on this jib, a very nice, expensive.
Did it tilt or something? Or?
So, Jamie is like bringing the camera down, and it looks great. I'm just glued to my monitor, and he finishes the movement, and the movement ends like, this is not a 2-scale demonstration, but it's like this far from the ground, and then I'm watching the monitor, and all of a sudden you hear a pop, and the camera just like, whoo, and the camera is literally this far away from the ground because part of the jib snapped, and like the thing that like holds it to the camera, and they like caught it, and so within a matter of like an hour, something with the police happened, and then I almost broke a $20,000 camera, and then on top of that, the jib that I rented from DC Camera was now broken, and I literally walked to like Mike Woods' car, and I was like, drive, and I had to take a lap. I was so stressed.
Wow.
And luckily we got a full refund because they were like, oh yeah, that's not supposed to happen, and luckily our BTS was rolling when it happened, so we actually have it on foot, like on camera,
of that happening,
of it breaking, and I was like,
that's wow, that's mixed feelings.
Yeah, that's a lot.
it was
a lot.
Man, I didn't know you were a filmmaker and an outlaw. That's a lot. That's a lot on your resume.
Yeah.
People should tune in. Exactly. No. Well, I mean, like, I really appreciate all the stories and everything. That's awesome. I'm excited for you, Logan.
Thank you.
Really proud of you and everything. Well, we have to wrap it up here, but I want to say, roll the footage, monkeys. We got a nice digital pitch for you here.
Oh, wait, before you do, let them know where they can see it.
Oh, yeah.
It's accessible,
so you should follow us on
okay, do your plug.
all social media. On Instagram, it's at The Gay Club Film, as well as Twitter, and on Facebook, if you just look up The Gay Club, it'll come up. It's being shown May 6th, 2018. At the not at the JC Cinema. It's gonna be at the Harris Theater this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then depending on what festivals it gets into.
All of them.
Yeah,
And
hopefully.
then we'll see Logan at the Academy Awards. So next stop.
I hope
so.
Oh God. Exactly. Well,
yeah.
So I'm excited for you, Logan. So thank you for that.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's been great.
All right. Thank you for joining us again this week, and roll the footage, monkeys, and we'll catch you next week. All right. Thank you so much.
I got cut by my own pride buttons. Classmates would rip them off my backpack and throw them at me. I got messages from people saying that they wanted to support, but can't right now. I had people who were telling me that they weren't going to come to school, that they were scared. One graduated and said he had to leave because he felt like he was dying. I don't want anyone to go into that kind of hole, to feel that alone. How do we find safety among a community that likes to pretend that we don't exist? We were expecting the worst possible outcome.
Because she is that quiet storm that gets stuff done.
I'm Haley, and this is The Gay Club.
Actually, this is Haley, and that's me, Logan KcKennah Brown, the director of this project. This film started out as a documentary last spring when I traveled to my hometown in rural Georgia and first met Haley. It's transformed into a based on a true story narrative where I'm determined to take the audience on the journey of hostility, protest, and hatred that Haley and her two best friends endured in the process of creating a safe space for LGBTQ youth they've been longing for in their conservative town.
The club has affected all of us, and what it stands for is that it saved my life.